will he try something desperate? He showed himself capable of doing that. Prost is making sure that Senna will have to do something like that, because he is, as I say, going slowly into the corners, getting early on the power, and an anxious McLaren team there, and Senna again closer than ever before.
This is Alain Prost, 150th Grand Prix, so he has had experience of just about every situation, including this one. The situation of being in the lead with the second place man treading on his rear wheels almost, and having to resist that pressure, keep his racing line, not go wide, not leave an opportunity and a door open through which Senna would be like a flash. Now, there are very few cars left on the circuit. There's 14 running now out of the 26 who started. And if Prost comes up to any of them, this is the opportunity that Senna's looking for. And he's going through. Ouch! Oh, my goodness, this is fantastic. They meet. This is what we were fearing might happen during the race. And that means to say that Prost has won the World Championship. Alain Prost, World Champion of 1989.
Well, and just look at this, because Ayrton Senna, who can get going again, but he's been pushed, that's outside assistance. And I'm afraid to say that that is all over for Ayrton Senna, and it was his own fault because of the slow corner. He wasn't past Prost, and he went into a gap, and Prost had every right to turn into him there. And I'm afraid that was self-inflicted. Senna has got going again. He's back on the track, but he will for sure be disqualified for receiving a push start there.
Well, that is contentious. The rule says that you can be pushed if you are judged to be in a dangerous position. So it could well come down to a steward's decision of some kind, but look at the problems that Senna is going to have with car handling. And now, of course, Alessandro Nannini is very much in the running, and it could be that we're going to see the Benetton Ford winning and a Benetton winning, and Senna is still leading. Senna with this twisted nose cone and very dodgy handling, and it's coming to pieces. He's going to have to come into the pits to have it replaced. He goes off. He's lost downforce, of course, and that dramatically affects adversely the handling of the car. No wings on either side, and we are on lap 48 in this 53-lap Japanese Grand Prix, with Alain Prost walking in. Heaven knows what's going through his mind as Ayrton Senna tried to take it.
Well, I tell you what's going through my mind. What a tragic way to finish such a thrilling race. And it really was tragic that Senna should self-inflict such an injury, because he just asked for Prost to take his line and drive into him. And it was, as we suggested, an act of desperation on Senna's part, and it did look as if he needed that, so in fairness to him, maybe that was his only way. Now, will Senna come in to change that nose, or will he try and stay out? He is still leading the race, remember, but of course he really should be disqualified, but he's pushed up and he goes into the pit, so they're going to try putting a new nose on the car, maybe. He's in the pit road, and here is Nannini, will take over the lead of the race.
Yes, indeed he will, and the question then will be, can Ayrton Senna, with this new nose cone, depending on what the position is, either regain the lead or retain the lead? Well, we're watching now for Nannini. Nannini is in the lead. Alessandro Nannini leads the Japanese Grand Prix as Ayrton Senna leaves the pit lane. And my guess is, and it's very much a guess, that Senna, in the mood that he's in now, on lap 48, will catch and pass lap 49. Can catch and pass Nannini, and then win the World Championship if he wins in Australia. Well, this really is a dramatic ending to the Japanese Grand Prix. Alain Prost out. It doesn't affect his chase. Here's a replay. Now let's look. Senna comes up to try and go through on the inside. Prost moves across, takes them both out.
Yes, well, Senna went for a gap that wasn't there. You could see quite clearly that Prost was already turning into the corner. And Senna put himself in an absolutely impossible situation. But he was lucky because at least he was able to get back into the race with the help of the marshals. And the McLaren team there with former McLaren man Tyler chatting away, but of course he was from the mayor. And here we see again, now you see that Senna is going in tight. He's inside Prost but not in front, and the point is, at a slow corner like that, there's never any danger, and Prost was always going to turn into him, whether it be right or wrong, tactically, because in any other situation you'd say, well, Senna was pretty much holding the inside and Prost was putting himself out of the race. But the whole point was, Prost, as long as Senna was out of the race, Prost didn't mind being out of the race, and that was what was different about that situation, as opposed, for example, for the Mansell-Senna situation in Portugal. So Senna now pumping adrenaline, 4.6 seconds behind Nannini, who leads, and I'm quite sure with the adrenaline that's flying around Senna, there'll be no difficulty for him to catch Nannini, and I would think with the adrenaline going, he'll probably pass him. And now we see a replay from Senna's car of the accident with Prost. It looks as if it's just coming up. Now, as they go under braking, Senna goes to the inside and bump. But really, what more could you expect Prost to do?
Lap 51 out of 53, and yes, I am happy to eat my words at the moment, but if Senna gets much closer, he's going to be through. Nannini is leaving no spaces, no room at all for the McLaren Honda to get past Ayrton Senna in the second position, which is absolutely no use at all to him in terms of the World Championship. Now up to Nannini, he's going to try and go through into the left-hander, and this is lap 51, 2 laps to go at the end of this one, each lap of 3, and through. Now, Nannini smokes up, Ayrton Senna leads at the conclusion of lap 51 in this absolutely riveting Japanese Grand Prix with 2 laps to go, notwithstanding the fact that he's gone into Prost, had a new nose cone.
Well, that certainly was a very brave manoeuvre after what had just happened to him a couple of laps ago, but of course he was able to do the same thing to Nannini as he did to Prost, but then Nannini wants to be second. Prost didn't want to be second, had no reason to be second, and so it was a totally different situation. And this is where Senna, I mean, he may have taken the view that there was no other way he could pass Prost, and therefore that would justify what he did to Prost. And here we see it again. This is the same thing, and of course, as I say, Nannini has every reason to be second, which Prost didn't, so the circumstances are totally different. But you see how little room there is there, and how vulnerable he made himself, Senna. But unless he reasoned, but it may be that he reasoned that that was the only chance that he had against Prost.
That was exactly the same place where Senna passed Nannini that he did not pass Alain Prost. Now, I am in no position to make any sort of a judgment about whether there was any case of right or wrong when Prost and Senna came together, but I have no doubt that there will be some furious discussion going on between Alain Prost and the McLaren management personnel. It may even be that the stewards will be taking a part in the deliberations, but now on lap 52, which is the last but one, Senna undoubtedly leads. Nannini is second. Patrese once again is in third position. Boutsen is fourth. Piquet is fifth and lapped, and in sixth position it's Martin Brundle.
Yes, a very interesting situation for McLaren as Senna heads around the last lap after a fantastic race, but of course it's in the normal way, teams will be protesting each other, but it's rather difficult for a team to protest itself, because this is an internal matter for McLaren's, although Ferrari of course have a big interest in this, because they'd rather like Prost to arrive to join them as world champion and bringing the number one for the car with him. But having said all that, and as we speak, Alain Prost is in race control talking to Jean-Marie Balestre, the president of FISA, so the politics may have started already, because I don't think they're going to go away quickly. But suffice it to say, this has been an absolutely enthralling race. We saw a quite outstanding drive from Alain Prost with all the old spark and everything. We've seen Ayrton, the very best fighting speed come out of Ayrton Senna, and at the end of the day, he took the risk maybe with Alain Prost. He's received a push start, and we know that should get disqualification. What should happen and what does happen in Grand Prix racing, recent events have clearly underlined bear no or very little relation to each other. So a marvellous drive by Ayrton Senna, and he comes through to win the race on the road.
And hold on to your hats, Australia, because it could well be that the World Championship is going to be decided at Adelaide in 2 weeks' time. But Ayrton Senna wins in Japan. Is there going to be a steward's inquiry? Alain Prost will have one if he can. But Nannini, just behind Ayrton Senna, in a magnificent finish, takes his highest ever place, second. That is Ayrton Senna's 21st Grand Prix victory. There was Riccardo Patrese finishing in third position from Thierry Boutsen in fourth place. Just those four, Senna, Nannini, Patrese and Boutsen, with the Williams coming good, and Japan go the full distance.